the shyness when confronting strangers.
Yeah.
We've all felt that.
We've all felt that, and kind of even the baby, I thought, had a sense of realism to it. I suppose I can talk about that aspect first. I mean, that for me was be interesting to see what actually happened in David Lynch's life, because that for me said to me that he'd had a baby sometime in his life, and it was such an alien experience for him that it may as well actually have been an alien.
So you think he actually is a father?
Yes.
But he's so disconnected from his own child
at that time
that he may as well be kind of like a mutant alien.
At that time, yes.
Wow. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know.
That's fascinating if it is.
That's why it's all conjecture and just banging around opinions.
Yeah.
Interesting discussion it should be. Yeah, it's very abstract, obviously very macabre. Do you remember the opening scene, Richard?
Remind me.
Where you've got the signal man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like at the side of a train station.
Oh, yes.
He had quite a dark and foreboding persona, I thought, which I've described as what Lynch saw to be God at that time.
Oh.
A callous and unforgiving God that deemed it fit for Henry to be subjected to the horrors he was going through.
Wow.
So that's my take on that.
That's remarkable, Nathaniel.
Then we got the family meal.
That was, I mean, painfully observed, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? It was just absolutely fantastic, and it's how awkward it was. You felt really uncomfortable watching it.
Reminded me a little bit of Larry David's work. I mean, clearly this was more the horror spin on it.
Yeah. But
just that kind of the observation of sheer awkwardness in social situations.
Well, I have to say, I normally kind of laugh out loud at Larry David's work. I certainly didn't feel the desire to laugh out loud to this.
No, as I say, it was from a different spin, a different point of view.
Yeah.
But similar kind of themes.
Right, yeah.
You don't agree, do you, Nathaniel? You're trying to be polite.
I do see what you're saying. The playing on awkward moments.
Yes.
Yes, I do get that, yeah. So you do have a point.
Thank you.
Yeah, the mother who was intensely bored, you know, and she was so desperate for some sort of excitement that she tried to make sexual advances on Henry. I
think that she wanted to suck his penis.
I think, yes, I think you're right.
Right.
You're right.
Right. I picked up on that.
Right. Then you got the father, the hapless father.
He was brain dead.
He was. He's obviously a man who was so stuck in a rut. He was no longer capable of feeling anything.
Or thinking anything.
Or thinking anything, indeed.
He just sat there. You know, he's the kind of person that would just come home from work, sit in the chair, put the TV on a channel, any channel, and would just sit there and watch it.
Absolutely, yeah, fair point, yeah.
You know, no thought as to he wouldn't seek out something that he specifically wanted to watch. It would just be any kind of flickering, moving images with some audio attached would be sufficient. He's the kind of person that would go into a pub, and when you're trying to talk to them, you'd find that they were gazing at the fruit machine, the flashing lights on the fruit machine.
Yeah, just enough stimulus to keep the brain active.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
He made me cross, that character, but I think he was meant to.
Absolutely, it was meant to get you going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did just that. What did you think about the actual meal itself? With the chicken that oozed all that dark fluid when?
Oh, that was horrid.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
I knew something was going to happen. The way that the father invited Henry to, do the carving.
Yeah.
It was clear that something was going to happen. But I didn't predict that it would be that. And it was really, really disturbing. I haven't eaten chicken since.
Yeah.
And I might not for a while.
I thought he was trying to humiliate him.
Did you?
Yeah, because you got like the obviously ridiculously small chicken.
Yeah, oh yes. It was like a quail.
Well, perhaps it was a quail, but...
No, but it was a chicken. They were referring to it as a chicken, but it looked like a quail.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what a quail is, Nathaniel?
It's an animal, it's a bird.
Right, go on.
It's quite a posh form of chicken.
It's a posh form of chicken?
Posh for it lays eggs,
What the, so that makes it posh?
much like a duck.
Laying eggs?
No, I didn't say like
Do you consider an iguana to be a posh gecko?
If you were going to the Savoy restaurant, you may expect to see quail on the menu.
Oh, I see.
I make myself understood
I
now.
became angry for no purpose then. Continue.
But the comments I wanted to make about the tiny chicken, when it was oozing that dark fluid, I think that was, again, Lynch's way of expressing about food, about the synthetic nature of it, and none of it was natural or processed.
I thought it was to do with menstruation, Nathaniel.
Ah, interesting, okay.
That was my take on that.
Right, okay.
It was, I mean, Lynch clearly hates women. Clearly. They shriek and they shrill and they squirt out mutants from their loins.
Right.
And that was symbolically suggesting menstruation. Again, his loathing of the fairer sex.
Well, I don't think you can say that he hated women per se, but he probably wasn't fond of his current girlfriend at the time.
Look at the mother.
At 4.
Look at the mother character.
Yeah.
Who wanted to suck on Henry's penis, as we've already established.
Right.
She was a harridan. She was a disgrace to look at. Lynch's hatred.
You wouldn't really want your girlfriend's mother sucking you off, though, would you, really?
Not
with a girlfriend in the same house, anyway.
No, I did when I was maybe 18 or 19. I did have a girlfriend whose mother was particularly attractive, and I did occasionally fantasize about kind of like a double team situation.
Right.
If you understand my meaning.
I do understand your meaning. Yeah. Back to the film.
Back to the film. Have you ever met David Lynch, Nathaniel?
I haven't, no.
I have.
You
He was
have?
an arsehole.
Is he?
Yes. Very unpleasant individual.
Oh, right, okay.
I felt, and it ties in really, I felt that this was the dark, demented delusions of a dangerous mind. He should be locked up.
Well, we wouldn't be have the privilege of watching his films then, no, would we?
Listen, as far as I could tell, Nathaniel, for this movie, this is my plot summation. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Someone gave birth to E.T. and opted to get a flock of seagulls style haircuts, while his girlfriend went out for a night on the piss.
I don't think Mr. Lynch would have put that much effort into portraying that kind of storyline.
Now, playing it all out in black and white, I think was meant to add a level of gravitas, of importance.
No doubt at all.
All it gave me, Nathaniel, was eye strain.
But it wasn't a comfortable watch. That was one of the things that he wanted to do, to provide. And he did that. Deserves credit for that. Just because you didn't enjoy watching it doesn't mean it was a bad experience.
I beg your pardon?
Just because you didn't enjoy watching it doesn't mean it was a bad experience.
That makes no sense.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. I didn't enjoy it. Therefore, for me personally, it was a bad experience.
You don't enjoy horror films, you get frightened at them.
I love horror films.
But it's a frightening experience, it's not
I
enjoyable.
don't get frightened by horror films. I'm not a child.
So you just said that you were jumping in the cinema while watching it.
Listen back, Nathaniel. Listen back. You clearly don't understand a word that I tell you. You make things up after the event to try and make me look bad.
Whatever you say, Richard, you're always right.
David Lynch wants to have sex with his own mother.
Yeah.
That's clear.
Yeah.
You can see that.
You can see that.
Nathaniel, was there any real music in the background?
I think there was. It wasn't called it music. It was not even ambience. What would you call it? They were atmospherics, weren't they?
It was all industrial noise.
Yeah, it was.
Why?
To make the whole experience as uncomfortable as possible.
So it was to alienate the audience.
Alienate, is that the right choice of word? Probably not.
I don't know.
He wanted to give the audience a different experience, that's for sure.
Nathaniel, name me 3 David Lynch movies.
June.
Good.
Inland Empire.
Oh, well done.
Thank you very much. And, oh, come on.
Go on.
Eraserhead.
No, you can't have that one. Another one.
David Lynch, come on. Wild at Heart.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Well done, you're improving. Well done, mate. I've called you mate twice today.
Yeah, I'm not sure, mate.
I don't know why I'm doing that.
Neither do I. Can you stop it?
It's the drink. It's the drink image. I'm becoming overly familiar. I must
I'm
stop.
doing professional broadcast while you're pissed. I'm for the unprofessional one.
This, Nathaniel, it was a warning about the perils of anal sex. That's clear to all, surely.
Clear as mud.
Henry wouldn't answer the direct question about whether he'd had sex with Mary. You remember that bit?
I do remember that bit.
It's because he was ashamed.
Was it?
And look at the result. Nathaniel, look at the result. Anal sex, mutant child.
There we go. Clear as a bell.
What would you give this, Nathaniel?
Hard film to mark, Richard. Because it was such a unique experience, although I didn't understand everything that was going on, never going to see a film quite like this again. 8 out of 10.
8?
8.
8 out of 10. That's way ahead of mine, Nathaniel. This was appalling. It was the work of a diseased mind. It should be banned. Nothing like it should ever be made again. It's 2 out of 10.
Right, folks, on the agenda this week for our topical news slot is a situation that affects us all, the amount of people existing on the planet. The United Nations are set to announce that there are now 7 billion people on the planet. The estimate for 1999, a mere 12 years ago, was less than 6 billion, which means the global population has increased by 1 billion in that time. Current projections show a continued increase, and the global population is expected to reach between 7.5 and 10.5 billion by the year 2050. Should we be concerned, Richard?
We most certainly should be concerned. We are building to an impending catastrophe.
Right, okay, yes. I can go along with that so far.
We cannot support the number of people we have now. If the population continues to increase in this manner, you know, within 20, 30 years, it will become utterly unsustainable.
That does contradict your Christian beliefs, though, Richard, somewhat, doesn't it?
Well, not really.
No?
No.
Why so?
Well, I mean, clearly we need to propagate the species, but we need to do it wisely.
Doesn't say that in the Bible.
It says that only people from Europe should procreate.
Is it a disclaimer at the bottom or something?
I beg your pardon?
Is there a disclaimer at the bottom that says that?
There's an asterisk.
Is there? Oh, right. I haven't got that copy of the Bible, obviously.
Read harder.
I will too.
Clearly, 7 billion, 6 billion of them, Nathaniel, should be exterminated.
Right.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, fantastic, yeah.
Go on, tell me why.
Well, it just sorts all the problems out, doesn't it? Just mass genocide. Get rid of a few billion people. It means...
Nathaniel, you are actually talking sense.
Well, you do talk a lot of sense, Richard. You do, you talk a lot of sense, and a lot of your viewpoints are well thought out. They're incredibly compassionate and sensitive.
Yes.
And sometimes you just have to go along with things. And when you...
Don't feed them, Nathaniel. That's my message today. Don't feed them.
Don't feed who? People.
Them.
Who's them?
You know, the ones.
Who's the ones?
Them. Look at where the population density is. Don't feed them.
I don't know where the population density is, Richard, you'll have to explain.
The world food shortage could be quickly solved by simply feeding people to other people.
Yeah, great idea that. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like pigs eating out of the trough.
Africa, India, China.